In the next set of videos, we're going to go over the work we've done so far with fractions. So let's look at the types of fraction. You have 1/2. That's a proper fraction because the numerator is smaller than the denominator. And it's also a unit fraction because the numerator is 1. So let me give you another fraction here. 2/3. This is a proper fraction. 7/2. This here is an improper fraction. And why is that? Because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And then finally you have something like this. 2 1/3. This is a mixed number because you have a whole part and a fraction part. So the first question on the worksheet is 1/2 plus 1/3. Now if you notice, the denominators are different. We have to make them the same. One way of doing this is looking at the denominator and doing the times table for that. So I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and so on. And the same thing with that denominator. So I'm going to do the 3 times table. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 and so on. So what I'm going to do is run along this list and find out which is the smallest number in the list. So I can see it's 6 and 6. And this here is called the lowest common multiple. So that's the number we're aiming for. So how do I turn the 2 into a 6? I multiply it by 1, 2, 3. So I do 2 times 3 to give 6. Now whatever I do to the bottom number, I have to do to the top number. So I have to multiply the numerator by 3 as well. Now the same thing with this 3. How do I turn that into a 6? I multiply it by 1, 2, because that's the second number. So 3 times 2 is 6. And again, whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. So I'm going to look at my first fraction. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And then I have this plus, and that goes there. And now I have my second fraction. So if I look at the numerator, 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now it's easy because the denominators are both the same. So I put a 6 at the bottom, and I simply add the numerators. 3 plus 2 is 5. So I can say 1/2 plus 1/3 is 5/6. My next fraction is 1/2 take away 1/3. Now it's like the previous one, but this time we're subtracting, or we're taking away. So what did we do last time with these two? We tried to turn them into the same number. So we were looking for the lowest common multiple. And we did the 2 times table. And we did the 3 times table. 2, 4, 6. 3, 6. So how do I turn this 2 into a 6? I multiply it by 3 because it's 1, 2, 3. It's the third number along. And whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. Now if I look at this 3, how do I turn that into a 6? I multiply it by 2 because it's 1, 2. It's the second number along. So I multiply it by 2. And again, whatever I do to the bottom number, I have to do to the top number. So I'm going to look at the first fraction. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now this is easy because they're both the same denominator. So I'll put that down here, 6, and I do 3 take away 2 is 1. So 1/2 take away 1/3 is equal to 1/6. My next fraction is 1/2 times 1/3. And remember what we said with multiplying, you multiply straight across. Numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. So 1 times 1 is 1, that's the numerator. 2 times 3 is 6. So 1/2 times 1/3 is equal to 1/6. My fourth fraction is 1/2 divided by 1/3. And remember what we said when you're dividing two fractions? K, F, C. Keep the first fraction the same, flip the second fraction and change the divide into a times. So we keep the first fraction the same, 1/2. We flip the second fraction, so it becomes 3/1. So what we've done is we've taken 3 to the top and 1 to the bottom. We've flipped it around. And then we change the divide into a times. Now if you noticed, you're multiplying both the fractions, and we always multiply straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. Now let me look at that fraction down here. It's 3/2. This is an improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and I want to change it into a mixed number. So what I do is I ask myself, how many 2's can I get from 3? So if I have 1, 2, 3, how many groups of 2 can I get? That's one group, and then I've got a remainder. So that one group is the big one here. I've got my fraction line, and this remainder goes to the top, and this denominator stays the same. So 3/2 is equal to 1 and 1/2, or 1 and a half. So I can say 1/2 divided by 1/3 is equal to 1 and a half. My next question is 4/5 plus 1/6. So now I'm going to do the 5 times table. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to do the 6 times table. 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So I can see in the 5 times table and the 6 times table, the lowest common multiple is 30. So how do I turn this 5 into 30? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I multiply it by 6. Whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. Now how do I turn this 6 into 30? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Multiply this by 5, and I multiply the top by 5. So I'm going to concentrate on this fraction. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 6 is 30. This plus goes over here. 1 times 5 is 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So the 30 goes to the bottom. 24 plus 5 is 29. So I can say 4/5 plus 1/6 equals 29/30. My next question is 4/5. Take away 2/10. The denominators are different. I need to make them the same. And this is easy because I can see I can turn the 5 into a 10 by multiplying by 2. By multiplying by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom number, I have to do to the top number. Now if I look at this fraction, I have 4 times 2, which is 8. 5 times 2, which is 10. Take away 2/10. 2/10. Now this is easy because the denominators are the same. 8 take away 2 is 6. So I have 6/10. But let me write 6/10 here because I know I can simplify this, make this simpler. I can see they're both in the 2 times table, so I can divide the numerator or the top number by 2, and whatever I do to the top number, I have to do to the bottom number. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I can say 4/5 take away 2/10 is equal to 3/5. My next question is 6/7 times 1/7. When I'm multiplying two fractions, I multiply straight across. Multiply straight across. So I have 6 times 1, which is 6. 7 times 7 is 49. That's a square number, and that's why it's important to know your times tables. It makes your maths much easier. Now my next question is 1/2 divided by 5/6. Now I've got two fractions and I'm dividing, so I can use the keep, flip, change method, or I can use this method. I pour cement or concrete onto the first fraction and it stays the same. So my first fraction is the same. I turn the divide into a times, and then I flip the second fraction over, so it becomes 6/5. Now what I have is two fractions and I'm multiplying, and I always multiply straight across. That's the easiest fraction to do. So 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. Now I'm going to bring this fraction here and simplify it. So 6/10. I can see they're both even, so I can divide the numerator by 2, and whatever I do to the numerator, I have to do to the denominator. So I can divide the 10 by 2. So what I have is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So 1/2 divided by 5/6 is equal to 3/5. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share to help the channel grow. And one more thing, these worksheets are available for free on www.tes.com.